So basically, when I entered class 11th, I decided to move out of the city to prepare, and then I came back after a few months because things did not exactly work out how I expected it to, and I think that was a mistake I made. That is something I would not do. I would like to very much stay here and prepare from the beginning.
Today we have Maitree with us. Maitree is our alumni, and right now she is a student of IIT Delhi in the Department of Electrical Engineering. So we'll hear her account of the journey that has led to her this success story. So Maitree, well, firstly, welcome back to IIT-JEE Dhanbad.
Thank you.
How is it?
It's amazing. It's really very overwhelming, and it's great to be back here.
Great. So you are in IIT Delhi. I mean, that's like a dream for millions. So how does it really feel to actually live that dream?
So like it's amazing. I would say that it's like way better than whatever we imagined during our preparation times and everything. And it's like it cannot be expressed in words. It can only be felt. So we have lots and lots of facilities out there, lots and lots of recreation activities, and we have literally clubs and societies for everything. Other than the amazing professors and lots of exposure which we get. So overall, it's amazing. I mean,
so from Dhanbad to Delhi, how has that transition been like?
So honestly speaking, it had its own part of challenges. It came with its own shares of a lot of realizations on mental and emotional fronts, because the cultures of the two places are totally different, and especially since you are out of your own comfort zone, everything is new. Then you have to start afresh. But of course, then with it came a lot of new exposure and lots of knowledge and experiences and everything. So yeah, it was amazing.
Great. So you're loving being a Delite now?
Yes, I am loving being a Delite
Okay, great. Now. So how has the journey been that has led to your this success? How was life at Dhanbad? How was life during your preparation days in FIITJEE? How was it?
So basically, I wanted to be an IITian since I was in class 6, since my dad was an IITian. So I enrolled in FIITJEE in class 6. We were the second batch of FIITJEE Dhanbad. So from class 6th we continued, and then I think IIT came gradually at each step. Being here, we were exposed to many many new topics and way of learning quite early than other students, and then various competitive exams, be it NTSC, be it KVPY, or be it the various Olympiads which we gave. Probably they do not matter so much now, but at that time it was kind of temperament building, and they helped us prepare. They helped us learn hard work, commitment, sincerity, and our early exposure to the methods of preparation that really came a long way when the real preparation actually began in class 11th and 12th. So yes.
Great. So we hear that in order to clear the JEE mains, definitely students have to study a lot. So how many hours roughly would you be studying?
So I used to study for approximately, my hours of study was a bit on the higher side, so I used to study for 11 to 12 hours a day. But again, once I entered the college, I saw students who studied a lot less than that and still got through. And then there were students who, literally studied for 17 to 18 hours a day but could not get through. So what I think every successful aspirant will agree to is that quality matters more than quantity. So basically the thing is that do target based study rather than, hour based study.
Okay. So how did you manage your time? I mean, definitely time management plays a very crucial role.
Yes.
So how did you manage your time in order to cover the entire syllabus? By that, I want to understand, did you study all these subjects every day, or was it like one subject per day? Did you make yourself some targets to meet over a week, and how did it go?
Yeah, so basically the thing was that it's very important to switch subjects periodically, because when you're sitting in a paper also, in 3 hours you have to switch the subjects and complete all 3 of them. So every day I would divide the time almost equally. This is one mistake which I think a lot of people do. They dedicate most of their time to 1 or 2 subjects and neglect the third one. But in 12 hours I used to study 4 hours physics, 4 hours chemistry, and 4 hours maths on most of the days. And of course, as far as the target is concerned, I'm a very pro target person, means you must and must make target, because if honestly, if you know what you're doing and where you are going, you have a target. If you do not, like if you do not have it written on the paper hour wise, like literally hour wise ki what will you do, means you don't know, either you do not know or you're not clear about it. So I used to make target for, I love making targets, so I used to make target firstly on a monthly basis, and then I would used to divide it into 4 weeks, and then I would divide it day wise, like is din itna karna hai, is din itna karna hai. So that's how it was for me, and then I used to stick it on my door, and then I used to highlight it once it was done. So yes.
Great. So also I would like to know about your note making strategies. Do you have any specific way in which you would make notes? Was very colorful.
Yeah, so actually it got all rainbow at the end. So basically I revised 4 NCRT books like a night before JEE mains in 15 minutes. And what I did was the very first time I used to study, I used to take a pencil in my hand and underline with that. And next time with a blue pen, then next time with a red sketch pen, and then there were colors, and everything was color coded. And finally at the end, there were hardly 4 to 5 sentences which were important in the entire book. So yeah, that was how I used to, yeah, and as far as notes are concerned, I used formula books a lot, but I did not have my own notes. I used to underline and then read it directly from the book.
Okay, you mentioned NCRTs.
Yes.
So how important do you feel NCRTs are for cracking?
In chemistry, NCRT is the Bible. I would say, like in maths and physics, probably not, because the level they ask either in mains or in advance is more than what NCRT has to offer. But in chemistry, at least in JEE mains, questions are directly from NCRT, means directly. Inorganic 30 marks pura ka pura is from NCRT. Physical, organic, everything, it is totally NCRT based. Even in advanced chemistry, the basics are from NCRT. So yeah, for chemistry, NCRT is important, very important.
Okay, got it. So also to understand about your mock taking strategies, how many mocks did you take before attempting the actual exam, and how would you analyze exam? I mean the mocks that you would take, because I tell to my students that it's very important to analyze the mocks, because that's what is basically the the medicine that you take after doing the test. So how important do you feel mocks are, and how would you actually analyze the mocks?
Right, so mocks are extremely important, means it's a mirror to your examination. I used to give mocks right from the beginning of the preparation. This is something like FIITJEE also has inbuilt in its system, like they have continuous phase tests, they have continuous AITS, AI square TS, and these are all planned from the very beginning periodically, so that students get to know at every point where they are with respect to other students, and what are their areas of strengths and what they need to work on. So mock ki frequency starting mein it would be like once a month, and then after 6 months it got to like every 15 days, and then in the last 3 months I used to give mocks on a weekly basis. Like every Sunday would be reserved, first half for giving the mock and second half for analyzing what I did. And in the last 1 month, 20 days, 1 month of that examination, like every alternate day or every 3 days, because that was the only thing left, to give the paper and to revise accordingly. So that was the mock frequency thing. And yeah, while you are giving a mock, you have to be careful of a few things. Firstly, when you are giving a mock, don't give it casually at home. Like, be very particular about the environment you are giving it in. Don't be lenient with yourself कि 3 को 3.5 घंटे कर दिए, नहीं बन रहा है तो 2 घंटे में उठ गए. Don't do that. Give proper 3 hours of in a silent room while giving a mock. ऐसे घर पे कोई आ रहा है जा रहा है, don't do that. So that environment has to be stimulated, exam time environment. And other than that, when you are analyzing the mock, categorize your mistakes. I used to categorize my mistakes into, was the mistake due to lack of my knowledge, like I did not know the topic, or due to lack of my application skills, or lack of practice, whatever I would say it. And then the third was lack of concentration, like silly mistakes. And I got to know while analyzing that in order to complete chemistry quickly, I used to make a lot of silly mistakes in that subject. So that is where I worked on, and accordingly I got to know that my application skills in physics was not up to the mark. So all this came while analyzing many papers. So yeah, I used to analyze it like this.
Got it. And also, I mean, with mocks, definitely the next question that comes up is staying motivated and focused. Because I'm pretty sure not every mock goes as per your, desire. So
Hardly
definitely,
any mock goes as per
right,
desires.
right.
So
So there are ups and downs. So how would you essentially, motivate yourself and stay focused,
okay.
despite probably not scoring that well in a mock?
Okay, so honestly, I used to get demotivated a lot. Means मैं तो बहुत ज़्यादा दिल पे ले लेती थी अपने mock के scores को, and then every weekend I would be like in a burst of कि what the hell is happening. So I was not the best at handling my mock scores, but then again, one thing is that one thing I learned much later in my preparation was something that in order to succeed, your desire for success should be greater than your fear for failure. So what I learned was ki the only thing that is important is that what you do in one mock, what mistakes you commit here, must not be repeated in the same paper, and that is the sole purpose of your mock, nothing else. And as far as the low scores of mocks are concerned and everything, the thing is that some mocks are prepared to be on the tougher side than the paper. So maybe that's why your score is less, or there can be many reasons. So the problem is not always you or your preparation. There can be many circumstances due to which the marks may fluctuate. So, and other than that, the life is monotonous. Actually, for a serious aspirant, it definitely is in 11th and 12th, because there's literally nothing to do other than to prepare or to eat and sleep. Literally there is nothing else. So I would say the only thing which kept me motivated during that time was my passion for my goal, because my imagination ki what life would be once I get into the college. So yeah.
Okay, staying motivated and a monotonous life during your preparation journey, which brings up social media to my mind. How was it? I mean, were you active on social media or deactivated your accounts through your phone? What was it?
So I deactivated all my accounts in class 10th, and this is one thing which I strongly stand against, and that is social media. And whenever my other aspirants and parents consult me, this is something which I speak strongly in favor of, ki stay away from mobile phones. Like if any child is of the opinion ki bina phone ke tayari nahi ho sakti, I don't think that he is telling the complete truth, because ho sakti hai, hui hai. And the thing is ki if sahi mein the phone is important, you use your parents' phone for that, so that at least they know what is being done and for how long things are being done on the phone. Otherwise, students' minds are actually at that young age, at that tender age, do not have lots of self-control and everything. So, and social media, especially in today's world, is like free flow of information, unwanted, unnecessary information.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to block that flow. So that's why I was not on social media. None of my friends I know who scored well were on social media, and we are strong believers of the fact that we should not be on social media during our preparation.
Got it. So definitely no social media. What about movies or TV time?
Yeah, so the thing was ki, it's like everything should be planned, like don't be very spontaneous ki, for example, for me it was week may I used one day as a break, and on that day we either used to dine out, or मैंने अपने JEE preparation के टाइम पे सबसे ज़्यादा movies देखी है. So because every week, literally every week, either good or bad, I used to go to movies, and then we went to dine out. So, but yes, it was planned and it was for that time. So I think that would be it. And other than that, I had a fixed routine, and उस routine के बाद, that routine included my TV time also. My actually Netflix, I used to watch a lot of Netflix. Like I completed a lot of series during my preparation time. So yes.
Once again, if I want you to recommend a film that everyone should be watching, get that external motivation factored in.
Okay.
Which is the movie that comes to your mind?
Basically, honestly, I did not watch motivational movies. I'll be very honest with you. Like I have watched a few movies like Mary Kom and Bhag Milka Bhag are very inspiring and true life stories. But I means these were not of a JEE aspirant, though there were struggles and success and everything, but those were not very big of a motivating factor as such. But yes, there's definitely one book that I would like to suggest every aspirant because it helped me in my preparation. It was like a recipe of success to me, and that book was an escape from all the negative thoughts and fears of failure. So that was The Power of the Subconscious Mind, and it worked miracles for me, and I strongly believe in the theories and the principles that the book propagated. So if I have to give someone an advice to do something for motivation, it would be that book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind.
Got it. So definitely subliminal conditioning is what
I am a strong believer of that.
it worked for you,
and
right?
it worked for me, and it works for me even today. So yes.
There's another book that I hear very frequently, which is called The Secret.
The Secret, yes.
Have you read that book?
Right, yeah. So it's basically both are on the same principle, and then there's another one which is Think and Grow Rich. So once I read the Power of the Subconscious Mind was the beginning of me into reading on this principle, and then that opened the doors to a lot of other books and everything. So, but that was the starting point. The Power of the Subconscious Mind, I would say, is the best recommendation I have. But if anyone is interested, I would say Think and Grow Rich is also nice. The 7 principles laid out there are absolutely fine. That's perfectly as like pillars of success, what needs to be done. It's that written out there.
Okay. Now, Maitree, I'll come up with a very lame question. Do you have a role model?
No, I do not have a role model. I want to write my own story.
Wonderful. I mean, even better. Talking about mentors, I mean, definitely in your this journey to an IIT, you must have had a lot of mentors who have guided the path and who have held that hand and showed you the road, right? Talk about your mentor a bit, how he or she helped.
Okay, so it's not important that you should have only one mentor. I mean, your mental mentor, your emotional mentor, and your physical mentor, they can be 3 different people. It's not required that they must be the same, but yes, for me, my teachers, I was very close to few of my teachers. So my teachers, my father and my mother, these three were my mentors. And out of these 3, I would say that my father was the one I was closest to. And also the preparation, he was the one who did all the research work for me, like what should be done and how should be done. And I was saying about making targets and everything, so he used to sit with me and make the targets. We used to decide amongst ourselves. I would say a few checkpoints for a mentor would be, firstly, he himself should know about the preparation and about your mental state. That's very important. My father himself is an IIT and has taken this journey. So I think that is something which is very important for a mentor. Secondly, you should be close and frank with him. He should understand you and you should understand him or her, whatever she is saying. The third would be like there should be faith. Because not everything will make sense at the time it is being said, but sometimes you have to just believe and carry on with it whatsoever. So I think these are the few checkpoints for a mentor. And yes, so
Okay, Maitree, going back to academics once again, I mean, revision definitely plays a very important role. What was your strategy behind revising, and how would you actually, bifurcate the huge syllabus of JEE to, manageable chunks and revise?
right. So the thing was that whenever I started whenever I started studying for a day, the first few hours were dedicated to first 2 hours were dedicated to whatever I read from the previous day. And as I said, that I used to underline and I take the important things and problems. So I used to go through those underlines and the takes. And then every Monday, the first shift of 6 hours was dedicated to revising what I did in the previous week. And then the first 2 days of every month was dedicated to revision for previous month. So that was my revision strategy. And then once the syllabus was complete, it was like another pura target was prepared once again of revision alag se. So to revise the entire syllabus in 3 months and then once again in 1.5 months.
Got it. So that's a very clear-cut
Yes.
strategy that you had. I mean, very organized in that regard. Great. One thing I would like to know is, definitely we have this doubt coming up from various aspirants. There is a fine line between the speed and the accuracy.
Right.
So these are basically the 2 factors that probably you need. So how would you strike a correct balance between these two? What was your strategy like, and what was your mantra?
Right. So this thing is, this thing is very dynamic for different people. Like, you have to find your own sweet limit. As I said, that I was initially making a lot of mistakes, and that I got to know after analyzing. So I think that is what every aspirant must do, that you yourself should, give tests and solve papers, and then you see what best can be done. Like, lack of time and lack of concentration se kitne mistakes ho rahe hain, and then you have to find your own balance spot, and giving tests and analyzing is the only way to do that.
Also, Maitree, I would like to understand, I mean, how would you actually target both the JEE mains and advanced at the same point of time? What was your strategy like in order to...
JEE mains was never the target. So I did not prepare for mains. I directly prepared for advanced, and usi mein I gave, a month before mains, I gave a few mock tests, and yeah, that was it. There was no specific preparation for JEE mains for me. What I would say is these are level-wise preparations. So once you reach a certain level in your preparation, you are already prepared for mains. And then mains, there's a basic difference between the two examinations. Mains mein the questions are easier, but you need more speed. And in advance, you have to think on the questions, like you have not seen the questions are new. So for mains, you have to practice a lot, like give a lot of previous year papers, and for advanced you have to practice few but quality questions. So I would say that if you are targeting mains, make sure that your syllabus is complete till December, and at least till the mains level, and then after that, while you are revising, you make advanced level questions along with revision of that mains topic, I think. And then a week or 15 days before mains examination, you can give the paper and come into that mains giving temperament. I think that
okay, got it. So to wrap things up, I mean, any D-Day strategies that you had?
Yes, the only thing that can work for you on your D-Day is that remember, समय से पहले और किस्मत से ज्यादा ना किसी को कुछ मिला है ना मिलेगा. Just don't worry about the result. Just go and write the paper. Like, that might matter to you a lot then, but 5 years down the line, you will hardly remember. Right? So the best result comes when you are not in pressure of performance. The best result comes when you are just giving it for the love of problem solving and for your passion of your college or something. Just go and just be cool minded is what I would say on your D-Day. Don't take any pressure from anyone. It's just you and your paper.
Got it. 6 years at FIITJEE Dhanbad,
Yes.
right? How was the journey?
We literally grew up here. Like, we were literally kids when we came here, and everybody here has been, so caring and so loving. They have all been, like guiding angels to us, not only academically. I mean, needless to say academically, because, the kind of modules we got, the kind of lectures we attended, and the kind of tests we wrote, and, the kind of revision strategies we went through over here, we were already way ahead of 80% of the aspirants, at least, even before beginning our preparation in class 11th. In class 10th itself, we were way ahead of the crowd. And then another thing was that we made such good friends here and such healthy competition. And that was only possible because there was one center where every brilliant brain came and shared ideas, solved problems together. And so that that sense of competition as well as that sense of support we got from each other, that was unparalleled and uncomparable. And then there were days when we could not perform well, any one of us, and then everybody here, they would analyze what went wrong, and then they would motivate us. So yeah, we literally grew up here. We preferred to come to FIITJEE on weekends to watching a movie. So
okay, so time for a quick rapid fire round. Who was your favorite teacher?
Gargi ma'am.
Your favorite subject?
Chemistry.
Your favorite food?
Biryani.
Your favorite pen?
Trimax.
Your biggest stress booster?
Talking to my loved ones.
Maths or physics?
Maths.
Maths or chemistry?
Chemistry.
That's pretty much it. Last question before we wrap up. Looking back, would you actually do something different if you had to reappear for this exam and go through the journey of actually preparing for this exam?
So basically, when I entered class 11th, I decided to move out of the city to prepare, and then I came back after a few months because things did not exactly work out how I expected it to, and I think that was a mistake I made. That is something I would not do. I would like to very much stay here and prepare from the beginning.
Okay. Thank you so much, Maitree, for your time, and I hope this interview. I mean, the words that came out definitely would help motivate other students and other aspirants like you.
Thank you so much. It was lovely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.